It's not. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Now we're live.
Okay.
Uh, let's see. There we go. Cool. All right. Now we're officially live.
Okay, cool. So what's up with your Frank Anthony?
And I'm just excited to start school.
Yeah,
I'm like dying to start already, man.
right. Ready to elevate, get that knowledge, get that bread going in, huh?
Absolutely. It's been a long dream of mine. I mean, since I was a kid. For those of you that don't know, in 12 days, I'm going to be starting a doctoral program to get my anesthesia. Um,
Yes, sir.
yeah, been for a long time.
My boy medical school, so it's gonna be Dr. Frank Anthony.
Dr. Frank.
Dr. Frank, I like that, Dr. Frank. I'm just call you that right now. You already Dr. Frank. That's how we gonna rock it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna manifest that. We're gonna speak that into existence already.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I mean, tell me that I know more than the actual doc. Sad, but
Mm-hmm.
I've been studying.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you. Right. Oh yeah. So you had your anatomy books and all of that?
Bro, I've been watching the human body for as long as I can remember. Honestly,
Wow.
yeah.
So this like your calling.
Like this is my passion, 100%.
Okay, that's what's up, man. So you had the dream since you were a child and you chased it, and now it's
Yep,
manifesting while you were a young man still.
yep, yep. Journey.
So
I mean, you, you mentioned that you wanted to talk about purpose and how sometimes we cannot, or we have to, what other people may want for us in order to pursue them.
right.
So before we
Mm-hmm.
get into that, what's your take on that? Because I'm sure we see eye to eye on it, but I want to hear your perspective and your.
I think a lot of times men we are we're made to take on burdens, right? Like we're beasts of burden, right? So a lot of people come to us with their expectations or like their hopes and dreams. Like we're like the hero. So a lot of people want us to save or to be an example of what they could be or things that they might not have accomplished, like your family or,
Yep.
things that they've seen or gone through, traumas. They try to protect you, right? They want to protect you, but they also want you to be the one who takes on the load,
Right.
right? To fulfill obligations that they might have made to themselves that they didn't uphold. So they want to pass that to you, and so a lot of times we get caught up in wanting to save everything or trying to appear a certain way to everybody so we could be a man, right? But if you want to be a true man, you must have your purpose and you must pursue it, even if that's sacrificing the people who might be rooting for you, who might want you to do well. Maybe those people who rooting for you to do well, or the ones who like, yes, like that might be something that's like pulling at your heartstrings, making you like doubt. They're like, well, I should be there for them. I should do this for them. Like, can I go away to Puerto Rico and pursue my doctorate? What about her? What about my family? What about what I mean? Those are the type of things that make you doubt and second guess and make lower level decisions.
Absolutely. I mean, my journey to this point, traditional in any sense. Like, I'm not going to medical school per se. Like, I'm getting my nursing. So technically, I'm still a doctor, yeah, but I'm not an MD.
Man, to hell with that. Man,
Yeah,
nah, nah, nah,
it's
nah,
the same shit. It's
nah.
the same shit. It's the same
Yeah, you
shit.
you gonna be a doctor. To hell with it. People
Exactly.
go get political science degree things and call themselves a damn doctor. Hell no.
At the end of the day,
You,
what I'll be doing
yeah,
is the same shit a doctor does. And
right. People lives gonna be in your home.
exactly. So at the end of the
Yeah,
day, I'm a doctor. Period.
Hell yeah,
And
you're a
so,
doctor. No qualifiers, right?
originally, I wanted to go the traditional route. I wanted to go to medical school. Then I realized, shit, like I graduated college 2 years early, and even then, it's still gonna take me over 10 years before I start making any money. Coming from a poor household, my parents do not make low middle class. I'm in my 30s to start making money. I had to start making money early.
Right.
And so at like 17 years old, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go to medical school. I'm gonna go the nursing route, get my doctorate anyway, still be a doctor. But that way I'll start making money when I'm 20. I was taking care of my family, uh, coming to my own a lot earlier. And,
Right.
everyone in my family bitched at me for that decision. It's like, oh,
Really?
yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of backlash. A lot of backlash. Like, my most vivid memory of this was when I was in my senior year of high school. I had just made that decision. My grandma, she was in the hospital 6 months, and she ended up passing away. The last her is me telling her that I was gonna be a nurse, and she laughed at me, like laughed me out. And that was like a month before she passed away,
Wow.
and that's from the heart right there. And you know, like, even despite that, and my dad was laughing alongside of her. I agreed with my sister, who at that point already agreed with my decision, and I did it anyway. And I have regrets. I know for a fact that I made the best possible decision for myself. And so when you
Of course.
sent me that DM saying, "Yo, let's talk about this today," shit, that's perfect. Like I got the perfect story for that, which is this one.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
like as a man, you have to know, and you have to be completely certain in your believe in yourself more than anyone else does. You got to believe in yourself more than your dad does, more than anyone that does. You got to be your number one cheerleader, because if you don't, if you have doubt in yourself, you're not gonna make it at anything.
No, sir.
That's that's it is what it is. Like you got to believe in your shit so much that it's almost delusional.
Yes. Yes. I've heard that word a lot with all of my dreams and you know, but that's crazy though. I kind of want to dig into that. Like, so your grandma. So listen, it's crazy because that story fit exactly to what I just said. Like the people that you trying to
Shit.
sacrifice for or do something for, they the ones who laughing you out the room. The one when you thinking
Yeah.
about how you pursuing your goals or benefit them, they trying to downplay what you trying to do.
Yeah. My grandmother practically raised me. Right. Because my parents were working all the time, and so because they didn't make that much time to make ends meet, and so because of that, I came home from school. My grandma making me lunch, making me dinner. So she practically was a teenager,
Wow.
and so going through all that shit, a lot of adversity. As a there were times where I doubted myself. It's normal to doubt yourself sometimes. I was like, you know what? I know I'm making the best call. I gotta go through with it. Like, there's no turning back. I gotta go through with this shit. And that certain level of headedness in a way
Frank, dang, you froze, boy. Frank, you still there, baby? Oh man, let me see. Shit, hopefully come back. He'll be back, y'all. He'll be back. I don't know if we.
This internet is disgustingly bad.
Wow, I was like, what the?
Damn.
Terrible. You in
Terrible.
Oklahoma, huh? Where you at? You in Oklahoma?
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
Oklahoma
see,
City, yeah.
yeah. I'm in Texas, man. We already know Oklahoma ain't about nothing. They probably still in the 1980s out there.
You have no idea. Town. This shit is downtown. This is like a village.
They got the Walmart is their mall and stuff, bro.
Here.
Nah, nah, ain't no malls.
Ah,
So we'll go back to what you were saying, bro. Before you froze up on me.
yeah, so you need to be hard headed to the point where refuse answer. Told no, even if you fail. That level of hard headedness,
Right.
what it takes. How many times I'm told no, I'm still gonna
Hmm.
want until I get it.
Yes, sir.
Require anything in life, even things.
Yep. You got to believe in it. You got to be on faith and
Yeah,
consistency. And yeah, even it's not. Yeah, you can't even. It's not like you just said. Even if you have some doubts, like, because that was my always one of my issues. Right, is I identified too much with what I was feeling in the moment. So when you first starting something or you first get inspiration, you're ready to go. You're ready to run through the wall. You're ready to do whatever it takes. And then you hit a bump or you hear someone you really care about or somebody who you really value their opinion, and they tell you something that's counter to what you really want to hear, or they shock you with how they treat you, and you just like, well, am I tripping? Because these people know me, so maybe I'm being delusional, right? So I would let the doubts just make me, I was just too going with the wind, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then they're like, oh, then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that, and then like, oh, so you just have to stick to it and know it, and even if it doesn't, always feel like the 100% best thing, you have to go with that initial spark that made you even go down the path, right? Like you had to assess the path before you started walking down it. So now, once you get on the journey and like if you hop on the sailboat or if you hop on a boat and you're going across the ocean to an unseen land, once you're in the middle of the ocean, you can't be like, I'm gonna turn back. Like it's too late. You've
right.
already left the shore. You right. You can't see home anymore. So the only way to go is forward. And I think right now we can still see the shore. We go out. We can kind of dibble and dabble. We see something on the internet that catch our attention. Then we go, okay, I'm gonna do that. We see somebody else making money real fast on social media. But okay, I'm gonna do that. So you have to know once you start going down your path, you just keep going down it, and you let the chips fall where they may.
Right. I feel like there's no such thing as the best business to start or the best
Hmm.
career to pursue. the best anything is the whatever thing you can stick with the longest.
Hell yes.
Everything in life is a war of attrition.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what you do. If you can stick with it longer than anyone else, win.
Yep. It's like a law. I kind of want to dive into that a little bit because that's interesting. Because what I've been seeing is like what you just said. Whoever sticks to it the longest, right? That's something I had to kind of figure out later in life because I was someone who everything came easy to me, right? So school or social interactions, even though I was introverted and a nerd and stuff, I could still interact. I'm like a social chameleon, right? And so I was just like I could do anything. But when you thinking you could do anything, that what they said, a jack of all trades, but a master of none,
Right.
but probably still better than a master of one, right? So I never got the second part. So I always felt like, well, I'm jumping around too much. I need to stick with this. I need to stick with that. If you're someone like me who jumps around a lot, right? Because you feel like you can do everything. What you need to do is get your skills up. You need to stick with something long enough to where you're at least proficient. Right? You can't be in something for 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months, and then expect to get the same results as a guy who's been on that path 5 years. It just doesn't work that way. Right? But I feel like in this age right now, well, like me and you, like we're creating content. Now you had your goal since you were a child to do something that's real, right? To become a doctor, right? But that will play into what you're doing with your other interests, right? With your self-improvement, with your content creation. Your content and all those other things will actually feed off of your journey going from when you were a child, right? So now you can go all these other paths once you've already mastered that one path, right? Now all the other paths that you want to pursue, you can do that because you have a springboard for it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, on my YouTube channel, like I'm not so much talking about self-improvement. Now I'm more so talking how to
Right.
out of your year. I feel like I can really talk about that from a understanding, like in-depth understanding, because I mean it's what I've been
Right.
self-improvement. I've been doing it for a decade now, or over a decade, but it's not the same. One thing I'm genuinely
Right.
passionate about. The other thing I'm interested in.
Right.
So, the reason why I even started my YouTube channel in the first place was because I realized at work I can take care of people in a day, maybe
Mm-hmm.
4, depending on what kind of day it
Right.
is.
Mm-hmm.
But if I make a YouTube video, I get to like 100K subs. Far shot away, but it'll happen eventually. I drop a video, it gets 20,000 views. 100 people leave comments talking about how that video helped them. That's 100 people
Right.
we had positive influence on.
Right.
Positive influence on 100 people over the course of a month. So I could be a lot more beneficial to humanity just by putting my message online. Like the same shit that I tell my patients, I
Right.
say it online. It's the same thing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's why, but it's still self-improvement, right? Because if you're
Yeah.
getting healthier, you're improving your quality of life, right? You're improving who you are. You're improving your outlook, even. You already know if you've seen people in the hospital, like I don't even like going to the hospital
No.
because you can just tell it's a lot of worry, it's a lot of angst.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could just tell it's not a good reason you're there. The best you can hope for is that you're going there to get something fixed and then you're good, or at least till the next issue pops up, or you getting checked up just to confirm that you're still good. Like those are your best outcomes, just to get you back to normalcy, right? And people are still continue the same habits and things that got them in those situations in the first place. So you being proactive and telling them online and letting people hear your stories or hear, information that can help them improve their lives when they're still young men or before the issues even come up, that you're right. Like the impact is just gonna be like astronomical.
Yeah. I mean, man. I've seen so much stupid shit that patients. We had one lady, like she had just come off of, like she just barely made it out. First thing she does, be obese, mind you. First thing she does, tells her husband,
Wow.
"Can you order me Dunkin' Donuts and Wendy's for lunch?" True story. Story. I don't know what happened to that lady, but she was in her 6 times over the course of a few.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, and she made it out somehow, But that's the kind of shit that the hospital so much, and they just like don't care to change. Like,
Mm-mm.
yeah, man, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating, but
I bet. And that's the that's one of the ironic things when you're trying to help people or give them advice or do anything. Like like 80% of the time they're not gonna do it, even if their life is on the line.
literally,
Like even if it's like the Pareto principle, right? Like 20% of the results come from 80% of the action. But that goes for everything. 80% of the people, 80% of the medical bills and medical issues that come from like 20% of people. She's been in the ICU 6 times in a matter of
in a couple
months.
months. Yeah,
Most
just
people
crazy
like
shit.
most people go to the ICU like one time. And that's why when you're gone, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? When you're about to go. You know what I'm saying? Her ass about to go 6 times, and she keep coming back. Right? That's just that just shows you like why you shouldn't even be worrying about what other people are saying or doing or what they have to say about your life or what path you choose, because you already know 80% of them aren't going to do it for themselves.
it's true.
Most people aren't going to even do it for themselves. Even the things that they're telling you that you should do, or they can laugh at you about your choices, they haven't made any better choices. They haven't done anything better with themselves. So why would you listen to them? You already know there's 8 times out of 10 they're wrong. We already know that.
It's true. They're saying those that can't do teach.
Mm, mm, that's cool. That's a good one. You're right.
Hey, shit. There's
And
a
you
lot of
taking
people that are
action.
like, yeah. It's like there's a lot of people that are like, they're you gotta lose weight, but they themselves are obese.
Right. Wait, like what?
You're fluffy as fuck. Come on.
Right. Even if they have anybody who doesn't, what they say, I'm not a traditional religious type person, right? I'm one of the spiritual, or I believe in energy, whatever, right? But there are some congruent things that are just said in religion that just match up to reality, right? And so the power of life and death lies in the tongue, right?
Right.
Things that you say revert come on to you, right? And it also says, "Judge ye lest ye be judged," right? You don't judge other people unless you're ready to be judged, right? You remove the speck from your eye before you take a plank out your brother's eye. So, people who have something to say or criticize about choices that you're making, you can just examine their life. You can examine the things that they're doing, and then you could decide, should I even be concerned? Should I even worry about what this person's saying? And I'm sure with you having like your grandma, who you probably looked at as your mother figure, you know what I mean? To have her, I'm sure that subconsciously like lit even more of a fire under you
Oh,
to be
absolutely.
like having your, yeah, like have your dad, like you needed that in that moment. That was like a that was like a crossroads right there. Like you could have either went into doubt, or you could have been like double down, right? I'm either gonna doubt it or I'm gonna double down. You're like, I'm double. No, I already know. No, whatever. And once you got past that part where even your family couldn't tell you, knock you off your path, it was already written.
Yeah. No, at that point, it was hard at first. I mean, she was like on the verge of death. But at that point,
Right.
subconsciously, I just kind of like put all my chips all in a way. Like I was
Hmm.
just like, fuck it, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't care.
That's great, man. That's so good to hear from. That's why I have hope for like the young generation. Like everything you see online is just talking about how the world's going to crap, and the young people are doing this and that. But it's guys like you out here. It's guys who are taking in the information, who's using YouTube like YouTube University. They're not just wasting their mind on garbage or giving in to the circular just
Circle
hating
jerk.
and commenting on who's doing this and hate. You actually took it and you learned, you applied the skills, and now you're manifesting your destiny. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, it's very dependent on where you are, like geographically. Back when I was in Miami,
Hmm.
the people my age in Miami, like for a lack of a better term,
Hmm.
they were like percent of people my age, male and female, were degenerates.
Hmm.
And then, given like that, we're known for
Right.
strippers and cocaine. Like it's what Miami's known for. When I came here to OKC, it was a different story. Like there's
Mm.
1 years old and they're married.
Mm.
24, 25, like married, and
Right.
it's
Hmm.
very common. Like almost every girl I meet has a wedding ring on her. 5 years old,
Yep. That's great.
and
See, so that's
and
kind of a culture thing too, huh?
yeah, I think it's a culture thing. I mean, here people are a lot more religious, conservative, a
Hmm.
lot more traditional. Um, but it's like there's a lot there's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of drugs in Miami too, but here's a
Mm.
lot of drugs, especially among the poor. But
Yep.
the people that are like middle class, the middle class here is a lot more solid.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah.
I think when you get, I think the thing about these large metropolis cities is that the social media bug kind of can get into you a little bit more because they're doing it in the places that you're familiar with, right? So you're connecting more with the screen to your reality, and you trying because it's easier. Like if you're in Miami and then you see girls on the beach on your phone doing crazy stuff, then you're like, okay, I'm gonna go down to the beach, right?
You look
Because
at the
you're
museum.
there in Miami, so it's like, yeah, yeah, it's like it's real. Like I'm not gonna go to the museum. I see all these girls on the beach. I'm gonna go do that. Or like, okay, these are how. Are you gonna characterize all the girls in Miami by what you scrolling on your? So you like, okay, these are what girls are like. So there's no point trying to wife them or trying to be traditional. I'm gonna do it too. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna say, let me go to OKC and work and grind out so I can get to the next level and then be like, who's gonna do that? Nobody, everybody's probably like, you're crazy. You're gonna go to OKC. What are you doing?
That's what, I got a lot of that. Like everyone before I left
Hmm.
home, they were like, "Why are you going to Oklahoma? What do you do in Oklahoma?" And I was like, "Nothing," which is why I want to go there.
Right.
Like it's like,
I could just grind.
what the fuck am I gonna do? Go to clubs? What the fuck is that for? Like that's just a waste of time. I still got work to do,
Hmm.
and I could do that shit later
Hmm.
when
Hmm.
wait, I haven't heard it yet. What the fuck am I gonna be
Right.
there for? That's stupid.
And then even when you do have it, you're gonna be a doctor. You're not gonna you're gonna be in another circle. You're not gonna even think about chilling in some
Exactly.
club in Miami, right?
Exactly.
So
Shit. In a way,
baby,
it's
it
only
is.
shit.
It is.
What the
Okay,
fuck?
let's go on that. Go on that. Yeah.
Yo, only poor people go to clubs. Like someone goes to a club and finds it enjoyable is because they hate their lives.
Mm.
Like,
Mm.
and I unpopular opinion, but I don't give a shit. It's the truth. Who the fuck finds it and to waste a shit ton of money, be surrounded by sweaty people that smell, and hit on girls that have, because they're trying to get at the guys at the private tables.
Right.
Who the fuck envisions that as a good time? Because I'd much rather go on a boat, go to a sandbar with people that are actually entertaining to be around. Like, that shit seems a lot more fun. Like, what the fuck is there to do at a club that you can't do somewhere else?
Man, I saw it. I saw it when I was. I know I told you before. I used to be a bouncer at the club, and once you, I mean, I was never really. I was kind of into the club when I was in college, just to go hang out with my friends. But I was never really a pickup guy or nothing like in a club. I never really talked to girls like that in the club. I would dance with them or something. I just kind of really went with a group of my friends. We would just hang out because we was all broke. So the fuck,
Right.
like there was. That's all we could do, is just hang out. So.
Yeah.
But when I was a bouncer, I got to see everything behind the scenes, and like even the guys with the private tables who are popping all the bottles and doing all the stunting, right? At the end of the night, they going up to the promoters trying to get the bottles comped, and they're like, "Well, you said I would if I bought one bottle, I get two, and da da da." So even the guys who are like making it rain and doing all the extra shit, they trying to go back and get their money. Once they got all the girls' numbers, and they go, okay, babe, blah, blah, blah. Then they going back to the promoter, like, hey, okay, so what about this? What about that? Yeah. So it's all a finesse. The promoters get guys to come into the club to make it seem bigger than what it is. So they be like, okay, if you buy one bottle or if you buy two bottles, we'll give you this section to make it look better. So then the girls can come in, and then the broke guys can come in chasing the girls who are chasing the guys who are perpetuating a fraud, right? The finesses. The girls following the finesses, the brokies following the girls who dumb enough to believe a dude who will spend $1,200-$1,500 in the club on bottles is actually somebody who you would like take you seriously, or who could build like a a foundation with you. Like, like it's crazy.
I feel like this is what guys don't realize. Girls do not have to pay in a club.
Mm-mm.
I mean, sometimes they do. Most of the time, they don't. Because if the girls come, the guys will follow. That's how it is for every business.
Yes, they will. Yes, it is.
That's how they have a girls' night. You know, girls getting free. Yeah, no shit. Because they make so much money off of these dumbass guys buying bottles, sleep with them anyway, that they don't care if the for free.
Right.
They don't care.
That's more liquor being poured. That's more shots being taken.
Yeah, yeah. And at the end of the night, who suffers is the dude who maxed out his fucking credit.
Mm-hmm. Pay valet, pay to get in, pay for drinks, pay with time. You could be working on your side business or take the money and flip it. Like you got opportunity costs, time costs, everything goes into it. But that's good that you talked about that dynamic, because my theory is that hypergamy actually makes the world go round. Like the men build the world,
It does.
but hypergamy is the reason why we build the world, right?
If
If we all got whatever we wanted from women, we would still be in caves. If women weren't hypergamous, we would never. Why would we need to build cities and go through all this shit, like hunting mastodons and all this? Why would we? If she's gonna lay up with me anyway, because it's 50-50 split. Like it's actually more women than men, so it's like 51-49. So all the guys could actually get one girl one-on-one. So if all the girls were just like, hey, I'm gonna get with one guy, every guy got a girl, we'd be like, well, shit, cool.
They're
Cool.
chilling, yeah.
Like that's what my homeboy told me about how it is in Brazil. He said in Brazil the guys are lazy as hell. That's why all the Americans try to come in and build businesses and do stuff. He said all the Brazilian guys, all the native Brazilians, they like, well, I mean, all the girls are hot. I got the beach. I can just mess with hot girls on the beach all day. Like why the hell? Why do I care about going to build a Fortune 500 company or stressing myself out or going to have some guy tell me what to do all day so I can get a paycheck and pay for a goddamn building that might be overinflated? Like we going to work inflation eating up everything. So a cost of living is rising. The money dropping. The girls are getting more hypergamous. So if you lived in a non-hypergamous society and all the girls were hot, we'd be like, fuck it.
Yeah. Hey, man. Brazilian women are some of the most beautiful women in the world. I'd say the most beautiful are
Exactly.
Colombian women. Colombian women are
Mm.
not even close, but
Yeah.
Brazilian women are a close
Wow.
second. But
Mm.
I've met a lot of Brazilian women, and besides being extremely attractive, they're some of the hardest working people I have met. Like they bust
Mm.
their as women, like to the point where as a guy you're like, damn, I wish I could.
Right? You like shit.
Yeah,
Like, fuck that.
like it's weird in their culture because like you said, like the
Mm-mm.
guys are kind of lazy. It's the women that are there, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But they fucking
Mm-hmm.
grind.
They go.
Like
They
mad
go.
respect because they
Mm-hmm.
fucking work.
And they'll still be submissive and
Yeah,
all of that.
yeah.
Cause
They got good
they'll still
values over
give you
there.
every. Yeah, they'll be like, okay, you still the man, so so I'll be. Listen, I mean, hell, but it's good that
I
we're
know
in
what you're
our
saying, bro.
society, right?
I know what
It's
you're
good that we're
saying.
here.
It's okay. I thought it
I know
too.
it's
I thought
good
it
that I'm in
too.
the Shit, I forgot to
Shit.
Brazil. I'm gonna live in like my homeboy. He go to Brazil every year for a month. Like he go for a month. Like he go for Carnival. He gonna go for a month. He gonna go February. He go and so he kind of dates women in America, but he just kind of chill. Really, he just wait till his trip to Brazil, and then he good, right? So
Blame
I'm
him.
like, huh,
I don't blame him at all. Shit, that's
right.
and retirement over there is probably way cheaper.
I didn't even think about that part. Yeah, there's a lot of guys. I saw a lot of documentaries where guys, American guys, were going out there and retiring. It was like, man, I live like a king out here.
Yeah. I looked into like yeah because you know
Hmm.
I don't really want to live here like in the U.S. If I get married over here,
Right.
cool. You know. But if I don't, if I'm like early 30s, mid 30s, I'm single. I'm gonna be like, fuck it. I'm gonna just pack my shit up and go to Colombia. Point, I'll be able to make enough money online, live like a king over there
Right.
for a fraction of the money. Eight hot ass
Hmm.
girls hotter than like the average a mile.
Right.
Why not? Why
don't
wouldn't you? You get organic
don't get
food,
us
hotter women for cheaper. Like man, you could have a penthouse over there for like $1,200 a month.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not kidding. Like I've seen them.
Okay.
Crazy
That's
shit.
damn good. I mean, I don't get. I might go out there.
Hey man,
Right? But see, that's a motivation for that's a motivation for the purpose. Like, man, no matter what, I have options. I
yeah,
can okay, I go on down this path, regardless of whichever way it goes, I know something's gonna work in my favor because I'm stayed on this path. I've stayed consistent, and I've also opened up other paths and opportunities and options for me to then use those options to get more options. Right. So that's as a man, that's the best thing we can hope for, is to the life that we're living, that we're working for, is one that we're choosing. Right? It's the one that we're choosing. It's the path that we chose. And so, no matter how it works out for you, you can live with that decision because we don't want to have regrets, right? The number one thing is people, when they get older, they regret what they did not do. So, if you got your path laid out and you decided to do it and you went down, even if it doesn't work out, that's something that you chose. It's not something you were forced into, not something that you did for someone else. So, there's no need to regret it.
absolutely, absolutely. About options, let's talk about your book, man. How's that going? Pictures, and that's looking
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah, I appreciate the comment on it too, because I've been trying to figure out like what direct art style I want to go with, because I was trying more with more of the anime type of style that's more like kind of quote unquote cutesy with the faces, but like that more graphic type of style, it just seemed to get more of a response. So I like, let me put this out to the people and just see, and everybody who responded kind of lines up in my target audience, right? And so that was good for me just to see, just to kind of confirm what I was feeling. But so I'm going down that path, right? So it's going good. It's going good. Like I said, it should be the end of the month. I should have my first edition coming out. Uh, I just feel good to be creating something and having like a vision, right? Because my goal, honestly, right now is just to find things that I can do for the rest of my life. Like I don't plan on like having a retirement, or no matter how much money I get, I always want to just go to the next thing, because I realize that money isn't the only thing that matters for me. Like that can't be my only factor, because that's not the way I'm made. I'm not made to only pursue money at all costs. Like it has to align with a lifelong pursuit. It has to align with trying to create, trying to manifest something that could benefit other people as well. And then that's what'll give my life more meaning, more joy, is if I'm creating, if I'm just constantly working and creating, right? That so steadily evolving, right? You're recreating yourself, creating new paths, new options. So long story or long-winded answer is that it is progressing at a good pace. And so I'll definitely like let you see it before I even release it to the public, right? Just because I'm glad that you
I
even
appreciate it.
interested, right? Because I was like, I didn't even think that was something that you would be into or anything. So that's cool.
Oh man, I mean, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm into anime. I mean, I grew up on Naruto. I think like everyone grew up on Naruto.
Right,
Every guy. Like it's
for
pretty
sure.
common. I mean, I've always found that shit cool, but most
Mm,
other animes never really caught. Like One Piece, like I never found that shit interesting. I found that shit kind of stupid.
me either. I haven't watched one episode of that shit.
I always found that shit kind of dumb. Dragon Ball Z,
Mm,
cool, but I never like followed it.
mm,
Uh,
mm.
One Punch Man, like I don't know. I think it's kind of so I never really understood that either.
Right,
Uh,
right,
there's a lot of them that I just don't really get. Like I don't, Naruto follows a structure.
right.
Like this guy, this kid, he's an
Hmm.
orphan. This reason, his parents died, da da da, and it follows us. Makes sense. The other one's just kind of, yeah.
Right,
So this shit, the fact that like it's like a cohesive story, like you see a god turning into a demon, cool. Like
right,
just in the pictures without any text,
right.
context.
Right. See, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to say, like, I want, because I've been taking like story writing classes and just how do you create a comic, right? You got to study it. Like you said, YouTube University, man. Like YouTube has everything, man.
Everything,
So I'm
everything.
like, how do you structure your story, right? How do you say things? And the one thing that I saw is you want to say as much with the graphic without words as possible, because
Show.
the human imagination is the most powerful thing, right? That's why people always say the movie isn't as good as the book. Like if you read a book and then you saw the big screen adaptation of a book, it's never living up to the book, because the book, you played a part in the book. When you're reading the words, your mind is projecting the images, it's projecting the surroundings, it's imagining, right? Like the human imagination and creativity is the most powerful force. Like that's how everything has been created and manifested. Anything that exists, it started in imagination, it started with creativity. And then mentally, the energy allowed your hands and your mind to inspire others to help you build it, even if it was a ship. Like, have you ever heard of the book, The Fabric of Reality?
Not specifically.
Right. That's a deep book. Now, it's got a lot of quantum theory in science in it.
Okay.
But it's
Okay.
about, but it's basically, to be honest with you, it's basically breaking down scientifically how the mind creates the world, pretty much. Like he's like, okay, if you don't believe in like spiritual haha type stuff, like or religious things and praying, if you don't believe in any of those things, this is for if you want concrete, scientific evidence, proof, theories, analogies, everything that line it up in like a logical way, then this book does it, right? It shows you how there are other dimensions, how is like through calculations and scientific theories that have already been proven that there has to be more, right? It's pretty crazy. And the reason
That
the
sounds pretty
book goes
interesting.
into exactly, and the reason why a lot of these theories aren't mainstream is because it will cause a lot of people to have a sort of an existential crisis. If you knew for a fact, if you knew for a fact, your mind actually creates the energy that manifests in reality. Every single thought actually is energy. And we're kind of proving that with the AI, what they're doing, the images scans of the brain, and they're able to recreate the images from what people are thinking just from MRI scans and stuff. It's going to get crazy because it's going to start proving all of the old religious, occult, dark secrets are actually real.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of freaky. I think I've seen that where, like, they put the person in an MRI machine or they put electrodes to their head, which is an EEG
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
scan. And so they literally detect the brain waves. And depending on what kind of brain waves are showing up, it creates a picture. And the person sees it and it's like, oh shit, that's what I was imagining. I'm like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yep.
weird.
Yes. Yes, bro. So anybody out there, if you kind of into, theories or just seeing like interested in things like that, because me, I study all kind of things. Honestly, I study like the fringes. I try to get in as much psychology, philosophy. I'm trying to see everybody's perspective, even those I don't agree with, right? Because just to get the more information you have, the more power you have, the more you can decide what's for you, what's not for you, you know what I mean? If you're a logical person and you don't want to be driven off emotions, I want you to explain why it's like that. I don't want to just hear a well-to-do or a platitude. Like break that down. Like make it make sense, right?
Right. I'm a, because my computer's at 10% battery and it's about to die on me.
No, that's cool.
Have you
Yeah, we
thought
almost at an
of,
hour anyway.
yeah, have you thought about like making your graphic novel into an anime with the help of AI? Because
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, because that shit,
Oh,
that would be
that's why I'm going all the way.
like, what?
That's why I'm going all the way.
Cool, man. Yeah, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna do video game. To be honest, I'm gonna make my own video game because now the AI has the text to image and stuff. So I'm using the IP that I'm creating, like the story and the theories. Like I'm putting all of my stories and theories inside of the anime, inside of the comic book. So if you read it, it's gonna be kind of like self-improvement and all of that inside of it, like getting better. But it's gonna be like the trials and tribulations, things that we think about, even the theories, even the philosophical theories, the psychological theories, all of that's gonna be a part of it. And then I'm gonna have that as my base, like my foundation. And then as more and more AI tools come out for us to create, I'm gonna use all of those inside of that world. So like I'll create my anime, I have my game, I have my NFTs, everything's gonna boom, 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 my merchandise, everything is gonna be centered around that world. Those are gonna be my parameters. Because right now in the AI space, everybody's just like, here are 1,000 things, here are 100 things, here are this many tools, here's this. And the only way you're gonna be able to stand out or be someone if you're not creating new tools and just trying to get people in to do monthly is if you're a creator, you have a certain context that you're in. You have a certain niche that you're in, an ideology, a brand that you're in, and then all of the things, all of the tools that come inside of it fit that and it enhances that, right? So you're Dr. Frank Anthony, everything that you do and create and push up has a base, it has a foundation, which enhances the brand. So even if
Right.
you want to switch to other things, you got the option, right? Because you have a foundation in something.
Absolutely. Did you see the website that I sent you?
Yeah, with
I
all
saw
those tools on it. Yes, sir. Yeah.
on it because I was looking for like a thumbnail analyzer for my YouTube thumbnails,
Mm. Yep.
and I
Mm-hmm.
found one on. And it's really fucking good. Like it's accurate,
Yep.
and I was like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look through all the stuff that they got on here, and they have a ton. And I was like, okay, yeah, Calvin King. And so I sent it over. It's like I saw like coding, like AI coding.
Mm-hmm.
I saw like AI video editor. I was like, there's so much old, and I've never heard
So
of
much.
anyone talk about this website.
Yeah, that's no, that was good, bro. I appreciate you. And see how you thinking? Like you thinking like in a community aspect. You're like, oh, I got this. He could use that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's what we're supposed to
So
do.
right. That's what we gotta do.
That's how humans
Yes,
advance. You know?
exactly. Exactly. A rising tide, what they say, a rising tide raises all ships, right?
Yeah. Like the one
Yeah, so
thing
I
that
appreciate
made
that, man. And
absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
no, no, go ahead. You was about to say something.
Oh no, like I was gonna say that like humans are so successful as a species is because of teamwork. You know, it's not because we're the
Yes.
strongest. It's not because we're the. It's not because we're the
Nope.
meanest or the
Nope.
smartest. Because we're not.
Nope.
We
Nope.
work together. We work together
Yes.
better than any other animal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we dominate the planet.
Exactly. Because this planet is
Feel it by
hostile.
yourself. Yeah, you
It's a
can't feel it by
hostile
yourself.
planet. We
Really.
no. It's a hostile planet. We like people say, "Oh, Mother Nature, Mother Nature." Do you understand? We're a force of nature as well. Like Mother Nature created us. Like
Yeah.
okay, it rained too much. We built buildings. It's too hot. AC. We can't go here. We build a plane. It's too far away. We build a plane. We build a boat. I build a car. Right? We use hypergamy and our teamwork to build the strength of man, the hypergamy of women, the community aspect. It all comes together, and that's why. That's because we can't buy into AI going to dominate us. What are you talking about? We're humans. What the hell are you talking
AI,
about? We're
AI doesn't
humans,
work
bro.
together.
Doesn't work like it. It can only adapt. It can only imitate what we do. It can only
Right.
take the inputs that we give it. Even if it
Right.
starts prompting itself and becomes a sentient being, it's still built on the blueprint of humanity.
Yep. It's in the name. Artificial.
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah. It's
that.
not real
That's a good way
intelligence.
to end it, bro. Yeah.
But all right, let's wrap this up. I'm at 6% battery.
Okay. Cool. Cool, man. And look, next week we on again next week.
Absolutely. You want to do Tuesday?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
good. All right. It's been your
All right, Dr. Frank.
peace.
It's your guy, Sylvian Fly. Peace.